Hello again. My name is Naomi Kodate. I'm Associate Professor in Social Policy and Social Robotics in UCD. As the principal investigator of the HARP project, I'd like to welcome and introduce the speakers of the first work package of the project. Dr. Boris Auré is a sociologist and Anselme, French National Institute for Health and Medical Research. He is also a member of the Institute for Interdisciplinary Research on Social Issues, known as IRIS. Ms. Yuri Maeda is a lecturer at Technical University Dublin, specializing in the areas of business and ICT. Dr. Wenwei Yu is a professor in assistive technology and robotics at Chiba University. Each speaker, together with Associate Professor Wallace Chan at Chinese University of Hong Kong, played a major role in leading this work package, which was designed to explore how care robots have been portrayed in newspapers over the period of 20 years in 5 jurisdictions in East Asia and Western Europe. Let's take a look at what we found. Over to you, Boris.
Thank you, Naonori. In fact, there are competing views on the role technology plays in society. The first one insists on how technology can influence the development of certain social structures and of specific cultural values. The second one focuses on how social dynamics, including public vision and discourses, can shape innovative technologies and their use. In line with this second approach, a growing body of literature in the social sciences has analyzed how healthcare policies and practices are framed by anticipatory discourses. They have underlined the performative nature of these visions in a modernity marked by the co-production of science, technology, and society. In fact, the way innovation and their future impact on society are represented, for example, in the media, can have a huge impact on collective dynamics, such as research programs, organizations' decisions, or public policies that, of course, in return, will participate to the social construction of this innovation and of the place it manages to take in the society. Different conceptualization of this anticipation have been proposed, like hope, promise, or expectation. It has also been underlined that usually when disruptive technologies are discussed, dystopian discourses coexist with utopian ones. The representation of this innovation is thus defined by a kind of interplay of hope and fears. The promise of a social care robot described in the media and scientific literature include effective therapy, companionship, and social facilitation in cognitive training and physiological therapy. Fears include a dissemination of care and carers losing their job. To build our analysis, we conducted a discourse analysis of more than 500 newspaper articles. One broadsheet newspaper was selected from its jurisdiction: France, UK, Hong Kong, Ireland, and Japan. Of course, to control the selection of articles, we agreed on the theme keyword research, and we collected all the relevant articles published between January 2001 and September 2020. And we explore 3 main questions: what are the hopes and promises associated with care robot, and what are the concerns? How care robots description differ according to these different jurisdictions, and how did this public representation evolved during the last 2 decades? And now, Yuri.
Thank you, Boris. This figure shows the trend over time. Of the 545 articles mentioned, 94 articles were from France, 71 from the UK, 25 from Ireland, 74 from Hong Kong, and 281 articles from Japan. This means that more than half of the total number of newspaper articles originated in Japan. As already stated, these articles were published between January 2001 and September 2020. Japan had a great increase in 2013 and 2017, followed by a reversal of the trend after 2018. The UK newspaper showed a steady increase since 2017, while the French and Hong Kong newspaper displayed peaks and troughs since 2012. A consistently low number was found in the Irish newspaper. This figure shows the 6 categories identified within these articles: promises, fears, mix, Japan-related, COVID-19, and others. Generally, the findings show that a lot is promised when robots are mentioned. Robots, because they are our future, are presented as a major economic stake and often as public policy solutions to an aging society. The future seems to lie with the robot industry, which is a prominent feature of many Japanese newspaper articles, although the phenomenon is not restricted to Japan. The next slide, findings 2, shows promises and care robots as policy solutions. Le Monde from France on 8th of March 2008 reported aging at home in 2030. Robotic aids, remote assistance, smart homes, progress in technologies and the housing of tomorrow should make older people less dependent and less lonely. Also, Yomiuri from Japan on 16th of October 2005 reported using robots will create a society where people can support each other and protect our human dignity. This type of story is common, linking local and national economy development and age-friendly communities with robots playing their roles. Much promise often stems from scientific evidence or technological innovations, potentially leading to successful commercialization in the market. Yu Sensei, please.
Thank you, Yuki. My part. There have been certainly fears, concerns, and ethic issues. This is mentioned by the Irish Times on 2012, citing a researcher at the Georgia Institute of Technology of the United States. Robotic systems are close to being pervasive, with applications involving human-robot relationships already in place or soon to occur involving warfare, childcare, elder care, and personal and potential intimate relationships. Though there was still some resistance to them. The Hong Kong newspaper cited the director of the Mechanical Center of the University of Edinburgh, mentioned that the resistance to care robots may stem from the fear that elders who receive non-human care would become more isolated, and the robots collect personal data, which may also cause privacy issues. Others include the risk of illusion, confusion, and the weakening of human-to-human ties. However, ethic concerns are rarely recorded in the Japanese newspaper articles. Our next slide. This slide shows 4 thematic 3D comparison of the articles from the 5 jurisdictions: Japan, Hong Kong, France, UK, and Ireland, over the period 2001 to 2020. Vertical axis represent positive aspects, negative plus mixed concerns, others, and the Japan-related aspects, respectively. Japan as the land of robots shows much more positive a number of pieces of news than the other jurisdictions. A relatively strong presence of negative or mixed views was found comparing the 5 jurisdictions newspapers. The fear and the concerns described make the most distinct difference between Western Europe, particularly Britain and France, and East Asia. Now we'll conclude.
Thank you very much, Yu Sensei. So this is the summary and conclusion. So positive and negative narratives were teased out from this process, and alongside other key prominent themes identified, such as Japan as the land of robots, the pandemic, and also the impact of robots on the economy. And newspaper articles often described robots positively, as been highlighted by other speakers today, and something that can offer us hope and much promise. Technological determinism is stronger if we go back to the first 2 competing hypotheses. And particularly in East Asia, technology-driven innovation of care appears to be much more easily accepted in the public discourse. And then in Ireland, it's probably an outlier. Care robots are considered a little bit futuristic. As the number of robots-related articles grew from the year 2012 onwards, narratives become a little bit more nuanced, so a mixture of positives and negatives, but not so much in Asian countries. They're still positive, more positive than negative. And there appears to be a looping effect, which transforms any critical discourse, especially on an ethical level, into actions, which are foundations of the technical revolution. So although they emphasize some of the negative aspects, they also mention positive aspects, and that kind of creates this sense that this is where we're going. It's the kind of direction of travel. And that's it. And these are the references, and hopefully we will add to this selection of literature from our own findings. Thank you very much.